What's good, people? Thank you for tuning to Total Payout Podcast, chilling with your host, Trouble. Today's date, April 30th, 2026, Thursday. End of the month, man. Rent due. For all my degenerate gamblers out there, man. Got to hit today. Rent due tomorrow, man. Nah, but all things considered, being real. We got 3 games on deck today. 3 great games, some pivotal games. Some games where, it's win or go home, win or Cancun pretty much in all these games, man. So we got New York versus Atlanta. We got Boston versus Philly, and we got Denver versus Minnesota. So let's go ahead and get to it. The first game we're going to handicap New York versus Atlanta. New York up 3-2 in the series. Head-to-head last 10. New York 7-3 straight up last 10. 5-5 against the spread last 10. And the under is 6-4 last 10 in this series. Now, New York is 8-3 against the spread last 10. New York 4-2 against the spread last 6 versus Atlanta. And New York is 8-3 against the spread last 11 in April. And now New York is also 17-27 against the spread away from home overall. Now Atlanta 3-6 against the spread last 9, 15-2 straight up last 17 at home, 2-6 against the spread last 8 as an underdog, but they're 22-21 against the spread at home overall. Now my personal line in this game, I have New York -2. Vegas opened up New York -2.5. Kind of tough, man, because Atlanta been, it's been a back and forth series pretty much, with New York actually snatching the last 2. And decisively at that. So has Atlanta teetered out? Has Atlanta already peaked and New York figured them out? Or is it just a case of New York playing with desperation and needing to win that game 4 to not go home 3-1 and just dominating that home game? It's kind of tough, man, because that pretty much is the scenario. New York had to win game 4 just to not go home 3-1 and then having to go back to, Atlanta down 3-2 if they would have won that game 5 anyway, if they would have lost game 4. So New York did what they were supposed to do. I'm going to go ahead and have New York to go ahead and send these boys home, but I'm going to take them on the money line -140. Simple math. I'm not dumb to how I'm not, dumb to how New York is. New York is the type of team at home, one of the best against the spread teams at home. On the road, opposite, one of the worst. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take New York to dominate one more game against this team, not play around. They see, on the other side, they got Boston over there playing around right now. So I think that they want to, kind of go ahead and get a game ahead of Boston, because everybody's writing Boston off for a loss going into Philly, blowing that home game 5. So we're going to take New York to go ahead and close out Atlanta on the money line -140. Now, the second game, we're going to handicap Boston versus Philly, game we just spoke on. Boston up 3-2. Head-to-head last 10. Boston 6-4 straight up last 10. Philly 5-4-1 against the spread last 10. And the under is 7-3 last 10. Now, Boston is 11-5 against the spread last 16. Boston 3-6 against the spread last 9 versus Philly. And Boston is 10-4 against the spread last 14 versus Central. And Boston is 27-16 against the spread away from home overall. Now, Philly's profile is 5-2 against the spread last 7. 3-6 against the spread last 9 versus the Atlantic Division. 2-5 against the spread last 7 on Thursdays, and they're 31-23 against the spread at home overall this season. Now, my personal line in this game has this game as a pick. Vegas opened up Boston -5.5. Obviously, you know where I'm going with this one, man. If Joel Embiid plays in this game, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Joel Embiid's 100%, he's the best player in this game. I mean, I love Jason Tatum, but if Joel Embiid is playing basketball 100%, he's better than Jason Tatum. He just is. It is what it is. I love Jason Tatum, but Joel Embiid is what it is. And what he did to Boston the other night, if Boston threes aren't hitting, they don't have that. And that's the difference in this. If Philly can figure out to play the 3-point line, then it's gonna get crazy, because Joel Embiid has his way with Boston. And I think all the muscle in the paint is on Philly's side. Andre Drummond off the bench, Bona off the bench. None of them players on Boston can handle down low. If you can get Paul George to just give you that 16 to 20 a game, Tyrese Maxey goes off. They can't guard him. Derek White can't guard him. They can't guard Tyrese Maxey, period. If VJ Edgecombe can hit a damn 3-pointer, if he can hit 4 3-pointers in this game, give him 12 plus points, and everybody else contribute what they contribute, you get Quentin Grimes to give you 10 plus. Well, we're not asking him to give us 18. Just give us 10 plus. It's going to get treacherous. I'm going with Philly +5.5. I think Philly money lines Boston. It's not that it's a bad matchup for Philly. It's just, Boston. It's just that Boston is a high variance 3-point shooting team, and that is the, how can I say it? It's the least percentage shot to take in the game, but you get that extra point if you make it. That's the extra incentive of taking them. That it takes the other team, if they're a paint point team, it takes them 3 buckets in the paint for your 2 3-pointers. So I see why teams shoot it, but if it doesn't land, and then if you don't have the inside presence to counter the misses, it's gonna get treacherous. And the great thing about the Warriors when they shot it at a high variance is that they had great defense, and Boston has great defense, but they don't have great interior defense at all. I don't. I'm. They don't. Not against a Joel Embiid. They don't have that. So I just think they're going to struggle. So now the final game we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take Philly plus 5.5 in that game. Now the final game we're gonna handicap Denver versus Minnesota. Now this is the tricky game, man. This is the series that's been pretty much the first 3 games. Minnesota had them figured out. The basketball guys came through and said, "Not so fast, my friend," and took Minnesota hard out. So let's see if Minnesota can withstand this home game, man. They got one more shot to close out this team, or it's pretty much bon voyage. Another season wasted for Minnesota. Another what if for Minnesota. And obviously they got a great excuse, but that doesn't matter in the basketball, man, because by the time is undefeated. Now, head-to-head last 10, 5-5 straight up last 10, 5-5 against the spread last 10, and 5-5 over under last 10. Now, Denver is 2-4 against the spread last 6 versus Minnesota, 1-6 against the spread last 7 away from home, 2-5 straight up last 7 away at Minnesota, and they're not straight up at Minnesota, so Denver doesn't do good in Minnesota. Now, Denver's also 24-19 against the spread away from home overall. Now, Minnesota is 5-2 against the spread last 7. Minnesota is 7-2 against the spread last 9 versus the Western Conference. They're 10-5 against the spread last 15 in April, and they're 20-23 against the spread at home overall. Now, my personal line in this game, obviously, I didn't do too many adjustments with the injuries. I have Minnesota -2. Now, I'm going to fade my line because obviously Minnesota would not be a favorite with Ann out and DiVincenzo out. But I do have them at -2, just doing my math on this line with the power rating. Now, Vegas opened up Denver -5.5, and obviously we know why. I'm still going to roll with Minnesota to fight, man. This is obviously, in the eyes of basketball aficionados, in the eyes of basketball purists, this is Minnesota's season right here, because I don't think they have a chance in Denver based on that scenario. So if they're going to win this game, if Io going to put up 30 plus points, something like that, they need a player to go off, it's going to be at home. Obviously on the road, different scenario. We need to switch the lineup up. Mike Conley can't start the game. We need to come out fast. We can't. Obviously we want his mental, we want his pedigree, we want his experience, but at the same time, we need to be able to run in this game. We can't come out here in this game and just pick and choose how we want to play. We got to come out here firepower. We got to have our best guns out there. We need Bones Highland out there starting. We need Io in the starting lineup, Jay McDaniels. We need Julius Randle, and we need Gobert. And then off the bench, we just need everybody to come off the bench offensive minded. If you're not offensive minded, Nas Reed, if you're not gonna come out playing good defense and ready to score, then you're not gonna get many minutes. If you're just coming out there effing up and turning the ball over and giving up layups, then you're not gonna play that much. That just is what it is. If you're gonna play this game right here, you're gonna play defense. That's how the mentality should be. Defense, offense. But we need our best offensive players on to start the game out. So we don't come out down 10-15 trying to come back. They don't have that lineup where they can get in the hole and come back. They don't have the Anthony Edwards. They don't have the Dantes to go out there and get you some quick buckets, go out there and play great D. Passing lanes, all that. Players can do that. They're all NBA players, but we know what they can do. Now we're asking other players to fill their role and do some things that they're not accustomed or even asked to do in any other game. So we're gonna take Minnesota plus 5.5 to fight for their season. Like I said, mentality wise and just being real wise, this is their season right here. So now let's go ahead and recap the games that we're taking today. We're gonna go ahead and roll with the New York Knicks on the money line, -140 is what we're looking to, anywhere up to 150. Anything above that, when it gets to -3, you might as well just take the 3. But I'm just taking the money line just because basketball, man, can get tricky. Obviously, Atlanta gonna fight for their season. Any team in this scenario at home gonna feel like they got a chance, gonna feel like they can win the game. So I expect Atlanta to come out here and punch New York in the mouth. But at the same time, I do expect New York to go ahead and take care of them, by the time the buzzer ring sounds off. Now, the second game, we're going to take Philly plus 5.5 to get this to a 7 game. Obviously, Joel Embiid on fire last game, man. He picked up where he left off in game 4. I just think that Joel Embiid is a difference in this game right here, not necessarily the series or winning or anything like that. I just think that the way Philly's playing and the way that Joel Embiid is bringing to that team, Boston didn't have that. Philly won a game, so obviously they knew they could, but adding a player like Joel Embiid to the mix can't do nothing but feel great, can't do nothing but feel confidence. Boston doesn't have a Joel Embiid to add and insert into their lineup in the series. They had Jason Tatum 2 months ago. He's there already. Philly added him in the middle of a series. You can't do nothing but get better if he's going to play the way he's playing. So we're looking for Philly to go ahead and protect home court and get this to a game 7 where they eventually fall. But we're going to expect them to take this game 6 and get this to a game 7. Now the final game we're going to go ahead and take is Minnesota, and they're pretty much, from my opinion, a do or die game. They're up right now. They don't want to go back to Denver. They have the momentum as far as home field right now. They need to take advantage of this home court advantage. If not, it's going to be over with for them. Obviously, they had a perfect excuse, but like I said, Father Time is undefeated. We don't want to rely on, next season or what ifs or anything. Minnesota should be wanting to take this team out, today. So we're gonna go ahead and take Minnesota plus 5.5 to at least cover the spread. Obviously they have another day left after this game, but they don't want to play like that. They want to play like they're down 3-2, not up 3-2. So once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Total Payout Podcast, chilling with your host Trouble. Today's date, April 30th, 2026. Like I said, man, all my degenerate gamblers, ready to do tomorrow, man. we gotta do something, right? Just playing though, man. Just playing. We've been going to work, stacking our bread all month. Rent been paid, right? But like I said, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Total Payout Podcast, chilling with your host Trouble. Please give me a like, comment, and subscribe at the end of this video. I greatly appreciate you guys' time. Give me a few minutes of your time today, on Thursday. I appreciate that. You be doing a lot of different things, man. Set aside a couple minutes for me. I greatly appreciate it. Like I always say, please stay out the way. Thank you.
Hey, Rick and Thad.